Hey guys, my name's Keyan Houshmand, and in today's video we're going to be checking out the very cool S801 guitar from GTRS Guitars in collaboration with Moore Audio. Let's have a look. So it's not often that I get an email from a company asking me to try their stuff, but when I do, I genuinely take a really good look at it because I only want to show off stuff that is actually cool to me and something that I know that you guys will like to watch as well. And this is honestly one of the coolest things I've ever seen because it's not just a guitar, it's much more than that. The GTRS S801 guitar from GTRS Guitars in collaboration with Moore Audio has built-in DSP functionality. So what does that mean? Well, basically in a nutshell, it's basically just any tone that you want ever built into the actual guitar itself. You can plug this guitar straight into an interface and you don't have to load up any plugins, you don't have to load up any amp simulation, all of it is built in with the actual guitar itself. You can literally plug headphones into the input jack of this guitar and get really good tones straight into your headphones just by turning the guitar on with this super knob right here. I'll go through all of that stuff a little bit later in the video, but for now I'm going to go through the specs of the actual guitar itself because you do not need to have this turned on. You can literally just plug this into any traditional setup and use it as a standard Strat. Before we get into that though, if you guys like this video at any time, please feel free to leave a like and a comment on anything you see or hear. And if you want to see more of this stuff, definitely think about subscribing. If you guys want to support me directly and get the tabs, stems, DIs, drum tracks, all that good stuff for the demo song that you're about to hear using this guitar, definitely check out my Patreon and definitely check out all my affiliate links. All that stuff will be down in the description below. GTRS Guitars are having an Indiegogo campaign, so you can get a cheeky discount on this guitar and all the stuff that comes built in with it. If you check out their page, I'll leave links for that in the description as well. Quick disclaimer, obviously GTRS Guitars actually sent me this for me to keep. I asked for a pink one specifically because I really like pink guitars. However, all thoughts and opinions are mine only. I was actually really surprised by this guitar and I'll get into it in the video. But how does it sound in a mix? Just to quickly go through the specs of this guitar, if you want to use this guitar as a guitar itself without any of the DSP functionality, it is still a very solid instrument. You get an American basswood body, obviously you've got this pink gloss finish which is super nice, this kind of pearly pick guard, cream kind of control, so you got volume, tone, and then the super knob from GTRS Guitars itself, their proprietary knob. 5-way pickup selector, you also get their proprietary pickups, but these pickups are not just any ordinary pickups, and I'll get into that a little bit later. 2-point trem system, so as you can see I've got it rigged up so I've put more springs in the back because I have set this up in drop C sharp, so just to have a little bit more tension and make sure the bridge doesn't go all the way over there, I have put more springs in the back. Bolt-on configuration, obviously just like any other Strat, and it does have this really nice slim cutaway here which does help. It might not look like much, but trust me, when you're playing you really do notice it. So a dual action truss rod within the actual neck itself, and you can adjust it by the heel here, so that's a really cool feature. Not a lot of guitars have that. More guitars are starting to get into it. Most of them are at the headstock these days still, but just to have it there so you can quickly turn it in, quick crank, and you're all good to go is very underrated, trust me. You also get a roasted maple fingerboard and neck, which is very cool. Roasted maple is one of my favorite neck woods because it's so smooth and it's just really stable as well because you're sucking all the moisture out of the neck when you're roasting it. Bone nut, nickel frets, and just standard vintage style Strat tuners. Neck profile on this guitar is just your standard C. It's kind of just like an American Strat. It's not Ibanez Wizard Thin or anything like that. This is a Strat at the end of the day, but to be honest, I don't mind a little bit of a chunkier neck. I'm not a huge fan of the Wizard style neck, so this is really nice in the hand and I haven't noticed it hasn't got in the way of my playing one bit. And then in terms of fit and finish of the guitar, like I went through every single bit of this guitar. I was looking in cavities and stuff like that. Even the back, like it's really nice, really clean. There's meant to be a back plate on that, but I have taken it off. Everything on here is really nice and really well done, and I did not find a single thing wrong with it. There's no tool markings anywhere, there's no like weird frets or anything like that. The frets don't poke you. The finish is absolutely immaculate. There is not a single bit of drip anywhere on this guitar. Even the neck pocket and the neck joint is really snug, so honestly, like props to GTRS Guitars because they did a really good job with this line of guitars. Now that we've got the specs of the guitar out the way, let's get into what makes this guitar stand out from the rest. So the way that I've got it set up at the moment is my guitar is going straight into the interface and all the processing and all the tones that you hear is coming from the guitar itself. There's no plugins or anything loaded like that on my computer. It's all coming straight from the guitar and it's being controlled by my phone on the GTRS app. So all you need to do to connect the guitar to the app itself is just turn it on, and it'll start emitting that Bluetooth signal, and you can just connect to it through Bluetooth on the app. It's really simple. It just shows up on your screen, you click the guitar and you're connected. Once you're connected, you have all these options available to you. So if you want to just do quick preset switching, you can open this folder icon here and you can cycle through the presets. So you got pop, blues, funk, rock, jazz, heavy. I like the heavy metal preset. I think it sounds really, really good, and it's got that like typical metal tone that I'd usually go for. Going back to the main tab, you also have this little equalizer button here, which brings up the main out controls for everything. So you can control the level of the Bluetooth, the USB out, the guitar, and the main out of everything, just all in one button. And then going back, you have that little tool icon on the bottom right, and this is probably the coolest part of the whole thing because it brings up the config of the actual guitar itself. And as you can see, when you click this little JP icon here, it brings up the preset controls for the pickups. So when I switch pickup positions, it's actually changing on the app itself. So when I'm on position 5, it's on position 5. When I'm on position 1, it's on position 1. So basically, you can set which type of pickup you want each position to sound like, which is absolutely crazy. So the way that I've got it set up at the moment is that when you're all the way down on the bridge pickup, it's using like a John Petrucci humbucker style. And the more you go up, the more it just starts turning into a normal Strat. So I've got a piezo here in the middle position. I've got the Saw Classic on the 4th position. And then I've got just like the standard pickup that comes included in the guitar. It's not trying to emulate anything on the neck position. You also have like treble, mid shift controls for each pickup selection. I don't touch those, I keep it the way they are because I don't want to mess with anything too much. But basically, just to show the differences. So right now I'm on the neck pickup, just using the standard pickup that comes included with this guitar. If I wanted to change that tone to say something like a Les Paul, so a little bit thicker, kind of sounds like more of a humbucker. Or if I just want to go back to that Stratty type of sound, I could do that as well. This is by far my favorite part of the whole guitar. This is really, really cool because I can basically have it set up to be a modern metal machine when it's down to the bridge, and then as you go up, it just turns into a normal Strat. Clicking the little settings button on the bottom right here brings up the settings tab for the app. So you have the global controls, tuner, you also have a drum machine, so you can start playing a drum machine through the guitar, going through your interface. That's really fast. You can also choose to have the metronome instead of the drum machine. You also have a looper, so you can start recording and it will basically start recording as soon as it notices input from the guitar. So it's not recording yet, but as soon as I start playing, and it'll just keep looping that over. It's just going straight from the guitar into the interface. Within the global controls, there's a bunch of different options that you can pick that are really cool. So you have the automatic cabinet simulation. So right now, every tone, every preset that I pick has just an IR built in that it selects. If I was running this into the interface, which I am, and I wanted to use my own IRs, I could turn that off. And then after all this goes through, I can just stick an IR or some sort of cabinet emulation within my DAW and just use that one instead. You also have the output option, so if you're running headphones, you can put it through headphones. Power amp, so if you're using it with an actual cab, you can select power amp, and if you're just sending it into a mixer or an interface like I am, you have that option, which is why I have it selected. Global EQ to make small changes, input gain, and then the super knob mode. So the actual knob on the guitar itself, the super knob, I can make it so that pressing the button on the actual super knob either changes presets or it changes the guitar sim with the pickups. Right now I've got it changing presets. Going back to that guitar config screen, when you press the little super knob button there, it actually brings up all the tone options for each preset. So this is the place where you can basically tweak any of the presets to your liking, and you can save them and store them into the guitar so that when you don't have this app on you, You can have the 4 presets that come installed on your guitar. You can basically set them to whatever you want. So when you're walking around the guitar, carrying it around, bringing it to places, you have the sounds that you want within the guitar without needing to connect everything. I'm not going to go through every single option that comes included within this because there's so many. You can choose different amps, different cabs, different types of delay, different types of reverb, different types of compressors, all that stuff, and you can change the settings with each of them. I'll just do a quick overview of this tone here, which is the butter tone, and I'm going to be on position 4. So basically, as you can see, I've got my overdrive and boost here, I've got my amp, I've got my cab, dynamics which aren't turned on at the moment, modulation which isn't turned on, I've got delay on, and there's no reverb on at the moment. But I do want a little bit of reverb, so I'm just going to turn my reverb on by tapping it again, and let's see how that sounds. I can also change the type of reverb, so if I click the reverb button here with a little arrow, I can change it to Hall, Plate, Spring, Mod. Let's go Hall, I always like Hall reverb. Little less pre-delay. Let's up the level a bit and make it go longer and make it more brighter. I don't like the way the delay is going, so I'm just going to turn that off, and I reckon there's too much gain happening on this amp, so I might even change amp. So if I click the amp icon, I can go between all the low gain and high gain amps. Let's go a UK30 OD. This boost isn't helping either. I reckon there's too much gain, so I'm going to turn the gain down on the boost, maybe a little bit more, turn the volume up a little bit more, and keep the tone where it is. So this is using like an 808 or like an Ibanez tube screamer type boost, but there's also plenty of other ones as well. So yeah, as you can tell, there are so many things that you can do with this app. It's kind of crazy. The way that I see it is that it's a really good on-the-go solution to bringing basically any tone that you could ever want anywhere just by bringing the guitar itself, which is kind of mind-blowing. And in my opinion, I don't think you're really sacrificing anything because you can get really good tones out of this. You can manipulate it to sound any way that you want. Even in the cab section, like there's different cabs that you can pick from as well. Like, you know, your typical PV 4x12s and stuff like that, or something a little bit more low key, like your 2x12 tweeds. I have confidence in all of these tones because I know that Mura Audio is really, really, really good at all that simulation stuff, and they really broke onto the market by doing so. So this sounds really good out of the box. I don't think there's anything that you need to really tweak with it. And considering the fact that you literally just need to bring the guitar, forget the fact that it's a guitar, like the guitar itself is really, really good. I said that before, but like just having all of this stuff extra built in is honestly really, really cool. So there you have it, that's the S801 by GTRS Guitars in collaboration with Mura Audio. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think this is a really, really cool guitar. I think there's so much built within it, and just the fact that you can take this guitar to a mate's place and not need to worry about bringing your amp or bringing your laptop or bringing anything like that. You can literally just plug it into something and you're good to go. Even if you just can't be bothered hooking everything up in your studio, in your room, or wherever you are, you can literally just sit on the couch with some headphones and just jam and play guitar. Playing guitar to play guitar and not do it for anything else else. I think that's really underrated and something that a lot of people are missing these days. Again, there is an Indiegogo campaign for this guitar, so if you guys do feel like purchasing it, you can check out that page. I'll leave a link in the description below. There is a sale period and it is ending soon, so definitely check it out if you want to get the best deal on this guitar. Massive thank you to GTRS Guitars for sending this guitar over. I've actually been using it so much, like more than my Jacksons at some points. I really enjoy this guitar, both with the DSP functionality and just as the guitar itself. I really enjoy the way it feels, sounds, and plays. So if you guys like this video at any time, please feel free to leave a like and a comment on anything you saw or heard. And if you want to see more of this stuff, definitely think about subscribing. Again, if you want to support me directly and get the tab stems, DIs, drum tracks, all that stuff to the demo song that you heard at the beginning of the video, definitely check out my Patreon and all my affiliate links, as well as the link for this Indiegogo campaign. All that stuff will be down in the description below. But until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao.